Okay, so what I will be doing today is to just simply start with the first steps in Jamovi, meaning how to get some of the descriptive statistics from Jamovi and how to get some of the graphs. Let us paste our data from our class. In order to rename the variables, we double click on the letter over here so that it opens this log over here. Here we just change the names. The first one is gonna be IQ scores. The second one is gonna be age. Then we have major, and finally we have gender. Now we have to change the type of variable that some of these variables are, in as much as IQ scores and age are not nominal variable, which is the default option that Jamovi gives you. In order to change the type of variable, we again double click. We can do it before when we change the name, and here under measure type we change from nominal to continuous, so Jamovi can treat these values as actual mathematically meaningful numbers. We do the same for age, so we just change it. Whereas for major, it's fine as it is because it's nominal. What we do instead is we rename the levels according to what they should be describing. So number 1 is psychology major, number 2 is communication majors, and 3 is business majors. Gender, it's okay as it is because Jamovi is able to also read text, so it will be able to pick this up. So now we start doing some of our descriptive statistics with it. In order to check the descriptive statistics in Jamovi, we go to exploration descriptives. Simple enough. Let us start with IQ scores. So IQ scores is going to be a continuous variable, as I said, and this is symbolized by this ruler icon over here, whereas nominal variable will have these 3 circles. So we just put it by just clicking on the arrow, or if we want, we can just drag it. It's going to be the same. Now, for continuous variables, there is no need to put frequency tables, and even if we did put frequency tables, Jamovi would give us nothing because, as you can see from these icons, in order to have frequency tables, we will have to have nominal variables or ordinal variables, which IQ score is not, so we just uncheck it. Now, if we want to have, for instance, measures of central tendencies more than the ones that Jamovi gives us, same for measures of dispersions as more than the one that Jamovi gives us, meaning standard deviation and normality, we will check on statistics here, and it will open this beautiful log over here, and we will simply check what we need. So let's say we want to have the mode, we want to have the percentiles, we want to have variance, range, interquartile range, skewness, kurtosis, and Shapiro-Wilk tests of normality. So this table will become something, quite huge, but for the purpose of this video, let's just keep it the way it is, where we will have a score for all these measures. So we will have the mean of IQ scores in our sample, the median, which is the middle score, the mode, which is the most frequent score, standard deviation, which is how the scores on average deviate from the mean, variance, which is this number just elevated, and the interquartile range, minimum, maximum, and we have all the values we need here. Now, the most important ones, which we will use mostly in our statistical careers, they will be, let's say, we don't need skewness, kurtosis, interquartile range we'll probably not need, variance we don't need because we have standard deviation, and percentiles we also will not care, and we will have, let's say, these being the most used statistics over here. When it comes to Shapiro-Wilk, what we look at is not the W, but it's the P, which P stands for probability, meaning the probability of our variable to be normally distributed. In this case, Jamovi gives us a value of 0.002, which is a value inferior to the cutoff point of 0.05. So in our case, these data are not normally distributed, but for now, that's all there is to it. In case you would like to represent this graphically, you go to plots, and since this is continuous as a variable, we will check on histogram. And it would just look something like this. But again, most of the time we will not use this. So this is how to check descriptives for continuous variables. What about nominal variables? So let's just go again into exploration, descriptive, and this time let's put major over here. So if we put all the statistics over here, the numbers here do not really mean anything, because the numbers in nominal variables do not hold any mathematical meaning, but they're just, a placeholder for what is the subgroup in our variable. So we know that 1 is psychology, 2 is communication, and 3 is business major. So, the mean of this does not give us anything because these numbers have no mathematical meaning. So what we are interested in instead when it comes to nominal variables is the frequency table, which you can find here. So let's just close this part for a bit. So this table here called frequencies is going to be what we care the most about, because it will tell us how many people in our sample are psychology major, communication major, and business major, as well as the percentage of the total sample. So just look at this second column, because this is the percentage of the total, whereas this one is the cumulative percentage, which just means like this plus this. So we do not care, because communication students is not 64%. What does this mean is that if we take psychology and communication students, them together will be the 64% of the sample. But again, we do not need this. What we need instead is this, which is the percentage of the total, meaning that 36% of our sample is going to be made by communication students. If we want to represent this graphically, again, we click on plots and we go to bar plots, which is what we use for nominal variables. So we will have this beautiful figure where it will give us on the y-axis or the vertical axis the frequency, meaning how many people we have fulfilling these majors, and on the horizontal axis it will give us simply the subgroups of our samples. Hope everything is clear, and good luck.